Welcome to another episode of the Beza podcast. I'm your host, Jasmine, and today I have a very special episode. Not only because I'm at the Poke Company downtown, but rather because I have the story of the man behind this amazing business. Welcome, Anthony Federico.
Thanks for having me.
Very welcome. I'm so glad that we make time to record this episode, that it was long coming.
Yes.
So Anthony, I would love for you to share with our audience a little bit about yourself. Where are you coming from? How did you end up here in Tampa? What's your background in business?
Sure. Yeah. So my real name is Costabile Antonio Federico, and I made the decision to. Nobody can really pronounce my name, so I went with Anthony, and it stuck since I've been here in Florida since 1995. But I come from a family, I was born in New Jersey. My family, my mom and my father migrated over from Italy and got their citizenship, and were able to establish them in the New Jersey area. And when I was 9 years old, my mom was able to convince my dad to move us over to Italy, and got to experience a little over 5 years, almost 6 years of my life there growing up and meeting not only our family and our heritage, but mainly also just getting to know our family and building the culture of who I am today. I think even though I was there for that period, a short period of time, I've rooted myself in the Italian culture and the way I am today. So,
do you think that's where your love for food comes from?
Yeah, absolutely. I got to be around a lot of family and relatives that my aunts own restaurants. We've been in the restaurant business for a long time, and watching just how them cooking and being around family and seeing the passion that goes behind the Italian side of things really inspired me when we moved back, that I knew that I wanted to be a part of that and keep that culture within us.
That's such a great story. That's why you're so passionate about.
Yeah.
And
sure.
How did you get into this world of franchising?
Well, yeah, so I spent a lot of time with operations in McDonald's, which I'm really proud of, which helped me understand a lot of the business and the ways of how things work and opportunities and training. And so I've always wanted to be in entrepreneurship, but I was always nervous, like many, to take that leap, especially when you have a lot of focus and passion in the community, and you got to figure out what you're willing to give up or not. And so for me, what the moment that shifted is that I had a scare right as the pandemic started, where I luckily diagnosed cancer at stage 1 early, and I went through that, and it was a very short period, and I was very fortunate to catch it at stage 1. But I was able to talk to my wife and say, life is short, so it's either now or never. And then at that period, as I was looking to establish myself, I had some ideas of what I wanted to do, and then actually my sister and my brother-in-law, which are our partners now, or have been our partners, knew this spot was available, and they introduced the Poke Company to us. And so once I looked at the food and tried it, looked at the recipes, met the franchise owners, I really quickly realized what my passion was not only to own and be an entrepreneur, but also be a part of something where I can serve a healthy, delicious product that not only can serve it to the community, but also it could really work well with a lot of the things I was already doing in the community.
Yeah.
So it was an easy choice and why not in Tampa, where I feel like for me, it's one of the best cities in the country when it comes to opportunities, and just the way everyone is rooted down here is just remarkable. So I took that opportunity and bought into the franchise.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things that I wanted to ask you. Why choose this kind of food? I mean, was there anything specific that made you choose the?
Yeah, I think I thought the recipes and clean eating was going to be a big part of where my shift needed to go, as well as a person from where my cancer was, and knowing that if I wanted to not have that come back, I needed to be able to be involved with something that I was proud to serve. And again, a lot of the charity work that I've done, regardless if it's with the Ronald McDonald House, I've been involved with the Children's Cancer Center, and just other community, if you will, like charity organizations, where I felt that this would be a good complement to it as well. And the location had a lot to do with it as well, because again, being in Channelside in Tampa, I felt that this was a great spot to be able to continue my career.
I know, especially because this area is growing so much lately, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a great opportunity here and to serve the local community as well.
Yeah, I've seen it evolve a lot since I moved down here in 1995 from a quiet little city to evolving to one of the most growing spots in the country, but also just, again, the people what makes the difference here.
Yeah, no, I've been here for 20 years too, and I've seen it grow very rapidly, and it's very cool to see.
Yeah, it is neat to be a part of that.
Yeah. Anthony, you mentioned that you had cancer in the past and how important it was for you to have a business that was aligned to healthy choices, especially when it comes to eating. Tell me a little bit more about the dynamic of this restaurant and the food that you offer here.
Sure, yeah. So we really proud to say if our employees are not serving customers, they're cutting the vegetables, they're part of the process of cutting the chicken and preparing the foods, where really there's no processed ingredients necessarily in almost all of our food, where we can probably serve a fresh ingredient product where even our sauces are made in-house. Our vegetables are cut fresh, if not daily. We're always working towards that product. But I think the more remarkable thing for me is that no matter where I bring the food and with our food sensitivity sheet, that we can find people that no matter what their dietary restrictions or needs are, that we can accommodate them, and we're able to offer options that they may not have available at other locations or other restaurants. And I think that for us, we do have a great raw tuna, raw salmon, and raw products, but we also have, I think we do a little bit better with our products with the cooked as well. We have a delicious steak, we have a chicken, we have steamed shrimp, we offer tofu. So really people can choose because most of the time the stereotype is that they go to a poke restaurant that it's only raw fish, where we have other options that can suit really everybody. So
well, I literally had no clue that you had so many choices, so I thought it was only like raw tuna, salmon, which I love though.
Right.
But I mean, it's cool that you cater to all food needs and all flavors out there, which is really
and it really makes it easier not only when people are coming in, but when we offer caterings to a lot of the businesses in the community, they're able to easily be able to accommodate everybody's, again, dietary needs, where somebody's not left out, where they would have to bring their own lunch because they were catering from the poke company. That's not the case with us. So we're able to really dial into what specifics that they want.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit more about this location, because for me, like, I don't drive downtown every day, and I know it's a little intimidating to come and park downtown because of the situation here. So.
Yeah, so we're located in Channelside, right east of the port and of Sparkmandorf, and we have a garage upstairs that's free for the first 2 hours. So parking sometimes is the most intimidating thing. So we do have street parking on our adjacent street, but we have 2 hour free parking upstairs, so people can come out, park, come downstairs, and enjoy the bowl here. We have a beautiful courtyard with a few. We have 3 outdoor bars at this particular location. We have a gelato place right next door. So there's more flavors here as well. I would love for you guys to come here, but really, there's some options here. And we're walking distance from Mineral Arena or from Sparkman. If you're going to the aquarium,
so Water Street too, right?
Water Street, yep. So if you're going to do the river walk and you want to come down here, grab a bite, and go for a walk, it's connected. So it's an easy spot for you to. And we're right near Ybor as well. So we're really perfectly located, I think, for somebody to come and eat something or spend a day and enjoy the scenery. Yeah,
no, after being here now, it's pretty easy to park. So come and try it out, because the food here is amazing. I've tried it before, and I'm going to try it today again for sure. Right. So would you like to share with us a little bit about the process of a franchise, for those people that are out there and not scared to start a franchise or are thinking about it?
Yeah, I think that depending on where you are in your walks of life and your experience, I mean, you can be an expert. For me, it was, especially after my first year, it was an eye-opening experience for me, because I've been in operations so long, and you think that you know it, a lot of what it takes to run a business, and you find very quickly that there's a lot of different things and intricacies that you have to be educated and put effort towards and become an expert about a lot of things, not just a few things. So I think that process, I think, was again, humbling to me to understand that process and put the due diligence and the work into it to be able to establish myself and root it as a business owner. Because not only do you have to earn the respect of your employees, which was a long dream of mine, having a team and being able to lead them to hopefully to success for whatever their dreams or goals were. But also you have to learn the trust and of the community and your customers that they're going to spend their money and their time and make it a warm feeling environment for them to know that no matter what's going on outside of these doors, that they have an opportunity to come in and get great service, have a great meal, and be able to know that we can make a small difference in their day. But as far as the franchising goes, it's just a matter of choosing, again, what your passion is, and you have to believe in what you sell. So for me, it was very easy for my reasons why we chose the Poke Company. Really, that whole process depends on each franchise, but they would just have to go onto their website and connect with those franchisor and find out what the process is. If it's an application or an interview, there may be some financials that they would have to establish or to prove that they are able to sustain that part of it. And then also just picking the right location. I think that's going to be key for any business person, because you can have an amazing product, but if it's at the wrong location, it just won't succeed. And I think that sometimes a lot of us make those mistakes where our passion drives that we can do this anywhere, and it's just not the case, because again, you have to know your surrounding, do a lot of market research and making sure you understand what, you can't force a product or selling something into a community that may not be embracing that. So I think there's a lot of decisions that go with it, but mainly you got to make sure you're compatible with and aligned with the goals of the franchise, because again, once you are in a situation like the Poke Company, I have to stay very diligent within the guidelines of the Poke Company and do a good job communicating. So I can't just all of a sudden sell Italian food here or do some other things that I may feel that is best for the business. You have to stay aligned with the goals of the franchise. And I think there's pros and there's cons to that, right? So it's people would think as well that it's easier just to put, Federico's Poke Place up there, but the processes of recipes and rights and ingredients and understanding partnerships with purveyors and all the things that many of us go into franchises, because a lot of that work is done for you. Where if you were going to start a mom and pop, if you will, small business on your own, there's a lot of things that are that you would have to establish and you would have to put in place. So you have to kind of give and take what's the most important thing to you.
And what does it take to run a business like this? How many employees do you have? Where do you have to source your food from?
So we stay aligned with the franchise where we source our products. They negotiate with the purveyors about what products we can use, and we have to stay within those guidelines and utilize those products. As far as staff goes, we currently have 11 people that work for us here.
11?
11, yeah. Wow. So with times we have between 10 and 15. It just depends on availability and needs, because we do hire college students, high school students, single moms, or people that are, their second job. So it really depends on what the need is. And for me, we're very flexible with people's availability, because we hope to, in order for us to have great service, and my focus has to be on our employees and making sure that it aligns with some of our goals. But for me, having those conversations with the staff and saying, okay, what are we supporting here? What are some of your goals? What are some of the availability that you have? And for me, it's more important for them to be productive and do a great job with it. Doesn't matter if it's 5 hours or 40 hours, really. So we're really flexible with their availability to make sure that they can, again, be at their best.
Well, I love the culture that you're creating inside a franchise, because I think it's not only, what the rules are, but you're also creating your own culture within the franchise.
And we want to try to give them whatever life skill or job skill, for that matter, that they can, regardless if they're with us short term or long term, that we can hopefully build the right goals or habits for them to be able to be successful, even if one day they choose to leave or to advance in their career. So for us, it's important that we have a system that gives them that opportunity to learn, make mistakes,
Yeah.
and go through that process of knowing that as long as their intentions are right, that we can work with those processes.
That's very awesome. Yeah, very awesome.
Yeah, so we all learn from each other. So
That's
it's good.
right, and we learn from mistakes, isn't it?
Yes, and I've made plenty, so we understand that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I know I met you years ago now, and one of the main things I learned from you right away is how passionate you are about community and connecting and helping the community. And I'm very touched by that because obviously I love the community. I love helping the community too. So can you share a little bit with us about it? How did you get into that? How are you so passionate about the community and helping others?
Yeah, so for me, it started young. My first time that I moved to Italy, I had to, learn a new language, learn a new culture coming from America. I started off being a baseball kid and playing Little League to the culture, especially back then, was all about Italian food and soccer. Really, it was the two passions. So I had to learn really quickly that it wasn't the same as America, and where I had to learn not only the culture there, but embrace what they were doing. So, and a lot of, even though there was some challenges with that, there was a lot of people that opened those doors for me to be able to succeed there, even as a young child. And then I had to do it again when I moved back to New Jersey, when we decided to move back to the country inside of it. And regardless of what neighborhood or what the dynamics were, again, people had to open doors and create opportunity for me. And I felt that learning through those and the struggles that we went through from moving back and forth and some of those experiences, that I was going to try to do the same thing in my adult life for many people, the same that I was given to me. So when I first moved to Florida and I started coaching, was the first step that I was taking to try to create opportunities and teach a game that I really love. So I started with soccer at an early age, and then I was invited to the Ronald McDonald House by, McDonald's is very passionate about the Ronald McDonald House, and the operator then had invited me to volunteer at the Ronald McDonald House. So I started spending some time there and knowing that, wow, what these families were going through. And then from there, it just spiraled that I really just wanted to create an environment where I can support people to open doors as long as they were doing the right things, that I would hopefully be a leader someday for that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, we currently went through 2 hurricanes in like 3 weeks apart.
Yeah.
And I love your connection with social media, and I love what you did you were taking donations to give out to the community and help the community out in this hard time. So I thought it was very heart touching for me to see that.
Yeah, and again, I think that for me, it's more about the community than it is about me, because I couldn't do any of this without the support of a lot of the people that live in the Tampa Bay area. So for me, I think I'm in the right setting for it. That people, what makes me, when people ask me all the time, you're doing so much, but I'm only doing it because of the people and the connections that I have around me. So I'm only really as good as them. And they've been so amazing to support us and being able to even connecting with influencers or people like yourself and saying, hey, can we get some of this stuff out there and be able to support it? I mean, there's really almost no hesitation, and they're willing to commit to, again, to hopefully bring the spirits up of the community. So Tampa makes it really easy for me. So
yeah, Tampa has a really great community. Yeah.
So
yeah, I think the mix of culture here makes it more interesting and more warming.
Yeah. So a lot of people ask me, it's like, why don't you move back to Italy? And I'm like, well, opportunity in America is amazing, but really, if it wasn't for the city of Tampa, I think I would definitely consider it. But I love living in this city, so it's a great place to be.
That's so cool. And what do you do to start current with this business? Do you do your own social media? Because I know you're very active, and I love your reels on Instagram. Is that something that you do on your own, or do you have help?
No, I have we have a great team. We have a few people that are on our group that I've met through the business, and they've joined us. I have great passion and great camaraderie with them, and we come up with some of the ideas. But in the end, some of this talent for the staff that we have on our marketing team brings it to life for me. So at times I drive them crazy because I'm willing to go the extra mile on certain things and try things that most people won't. But a lot of these ideas are coming from them and just their great young minds and helping me put it together. So I couldn't do it without
Well,
them.
you guys are doing a great job because I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's fun when I see people in the community that I don't even know, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And one person the other day was joking around, said, "Can I have your signature?" And I was like, "I thought it was because something to do with soccer." And they was like, "No, I follow." It was a soccer mom, and she was like, "No, I follow you on social." And I'm like, "What?" And I didn't even know. So it's if we can put a smile on somebody's face through everything that everybody's going through, if it's the economy, if it's worried about the election or worried about just finances for themselves or whatever it is, life is short and we want to just maybe have some fun with it and connect with the community.
Yeah, so. I agree with that. Well, you're doing a great job. I love it.
So no, it's them. Really, I give the credit to them. They are really brilliant and they're very engaging and they've been very supportive to me, which is just like our staff. We're very fortunate, and I always say this: we're only as good as the people that we surround ourselves. And and I think that that's key in my testament about where I am today.
I love that. So, Anthony, what's next for you and for the Poke Company? Do you have any future goals?
Yeah, so I still think there's a lot of work and things that we've not tapped into and resources here in the Tampa market. And like I've said earlier, I do love this community and love being here in Channelside. So for us is to continue to grow this location, but also continue to grow our relationships and our partnerships with the businesses in the community. And if it's on the catering side or supporting and doing social events, we took a pause a little bit with that part of it, but we have this beautiful courtyard. My goal is to continue to host events where it's not just about advertising me, but other businesses that come in and again, bring them away from the everyday grind and being able to socialize a little bit and get to know each other and promote their businesses. So I think I want to create a culture even for other businesses here in Channelside where they can come and advertise their business and learn more about the relationship building and being able to network, if you will.
Yeah.
And so that's really the goal for my future here in Tampa.
Well, I love that legacy and I love that goal. I love that everything you do is connected to the community and it's not about you. Like you said, it's about the people and other businesses because as a small business owner, I know the struggle. So being connected and being together, united, is it makes a big difference.
Yeah, so no, again, you being here with me today is amazing, and I appreciate it. And
Thank
that's just an example of what we're trying to accomplish. And you being here with us is really the staple of what I'm talking about. So I
appreciate it too. We appreciate your time and having us here in your space. Mm-hmm. Well, my last question for you today would be if you were going to give an advice to someone that wants to open a franchise business or wants to be an entrepreneur, what would your suggestion be for them?
Just follow your dreams and be passionate about it and know that that you are the person that's going to drive it. Everything falls back on you no matter what, how much staff you have or who you hire. Everything is on your shoulders, and that's just something that is not for everybody. So it's something that you have to either embrace or not do it because unfortunately, it would fail on that part of it. And the biggest thing is you have to be okay with failure because failure is the way you learn. And there's no bulletproof system that you're going to go through where you're just going to cruise through it. And I think that's probably one of the hardest things, especially for somebody that wants to achieve and be successful, is afraid of failure and not having the courage to get back up and rebound from anything that's thrown at you because it's a lot and it's on your shoulders and you just have to be open to doing that. So
you have to be willing to do the hard work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And wear many hats because as a business owner, you have to do it all.
And again, surround yourself around great people and be open to continuously educating yourself. If it's reading a book, podcast, learning from other business folks, and you just have to be an advocate for yourself. And I think that if we take that approach through anything, if it's your health, if it's your business or your family, I think that it all evolves in the same, and it's kind of the same principles. So
yeah, that's awesome. Well, how can we find you on social media so people can follow you there?
Yeah, so mine right now is Anthony Federico _21. I chose that number because it was my kid's soccer number. So a lot of people ask me why 21. So that was the reason why. Both Vanessa and Antonio both love that number. So I chose that. We can also find me in thepokecompany.com, which we're doing a lot of things for that social as well, which is great. And yeah, follow us there.
All right, perfect. Well, make sure that you follow Anthony. Make sure that you follow our podcast too for more episodes. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope that we can do many more podcasts because I know there's many more exciting things coming your way.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Adios.
Bye.